What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk about the new Godzilla series that is set to come out next month on Apple. Monarch: Legacy of Monsters is a show centered on the events that took place right after the 2014 Godzilla movie, while also acting as a kind of prequel to other movies that we've seen since. Lots of secret titans and other cool government cover-ups are at the center of the series, with Snake Plissken himself being a lead. This might be one of the coolest things the Monsterverse has ever done, and I wish we would get something like this for Jurassic Park, because they're bringing everything back to like a more grounded tone. At least that's what the actual trailer has to say. But for today, I just wanted to go over what was in that trailer, break it all down, and talk about what we can expect to see in this new series. So everything kind of centers around 1954, where Godzilla made his first official appearance, and I guess they tried to kill him, and it didn't go so well. So much later after that, in 2014, this is just a backstory for the show, guys, Godzilla re-emerged to fight the Mutos in the 2014 film. Now, we all know that ended in a pretty devastating way for San Francisco, and we actually see what was going on after the events of that movie, with the destruction of the bridge and Monarch being present, taking evidence and filming everything they can for kind of planning on what to do going forward about the Titans, Godzilla, and everything in between. Now, there's also a lot of stuff in the trailer that pertains to the 1970s, with John Goodman's character coming back, and we all know that he got killed by a skull crawler on Skull Island in the Kong movie from 2017, but here we've got a bit of an expansion on that with some really cool imagery of what looks to be a giant battleship that somehow got stuck on an island, and I don't think this is Skull Island, but it could be a variation, like a different island, another monster island that is very Toho inspired from the series. There's multiple islands and their own universes, so who's to say where we really are right here, but it all looks like it's coming together to form a big global government cover-up and sort of experimentation into what they're supposed to do about these titans, because they're popping up all over the place. Now, everything takes place post-2014. This is both a sequel to that movie and a prequel to everything else. They're going back to a more dark tone, at least that's what the trailer seems to leave us to believe. Monarch is kind of focusing on a bigger X-Files sort of feel, where the Titans are treated like cryptids, and everything's like a cryptozoological expedition to find out what's out there, and it's on a global scale because of the hollow earth deep inside, which we've seen from Godzilla vs. Kong and other stuff in this franchise. I'm really liking the vibes. It kind of gives a Edgar Rice Burroughs or Jules Verne sort of a feel, so it's cool. Now, there are a lot of glimpses at secret unidentified monsters that we don't really know much about. I'm not even sure we have names for some of these. Kurt Russell is anti-Monarch, and he's kind of on the outside of all of what's going on, but he's still very aware of Godzilla and the Titans. He's plugged in. He knows what's up. He's kind of like that prepper friend you got that's like, I know what's coming, and then everything, hits the fan, and he's like, yeah, I told you so. Snake Plissken versus Godzilla is a really, I even love the actual design of Kurt Russell's clothing. It reminds me of John Carpenter's The Thing. So this is pretty cool, man. Now, a lot of this other stuff seems to be centered around radiation, nuclear power plants, and the monsters' correlation, which was something that they did talk about in the 2014 movie, the first Godzilla film in the Monsterverse. There's a lot of new creatures. Tiny insect titans were revealed. I mean, I say they're tiny, they're really giant, but my little personal theory about this looks like it could be something from the Comic-Con teaser that we got from the 2014 movie. If you guys don't remember, they actually showed that Godzilla had murdered this giant centipede creature, and we never got to see that in any of the official Monsterverse movies. That's a live-action teaser. It's official, but it would be so cool to see that reinserted into the show, by the way. But maybe this is a similar sort of monster. I would love to see them like officially run with that. Now, I don't think Kong is going to be as prominent in this TV show as Godzilla, because we didn't really know much about Kong until the Skull Island movie. He is out there, but remember, he wasn't in King of the Monsters. He's kind of off doing his own thing. I would love to see bits and pieces of what's going on with him, but who knows? Now, there is prequel stuff related to Skull Island because of John Goodman, so we could very well be seeing Kong in some capacity, but I don't think he's going to be as prominent as Godzilla himself. But there are going to be all kinds of other monsters, such as this new creature that was found under the ice, and I don't know what it is with monsters in the Monsterverse being ice related, like King Ghidorah was frozen under the ice. I just did a video on Margager, which is an official Titan in this franchise that was concept art for King of the Monsters. Check that out. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. But Kurt Russell versus Monarch seems to be the big plot element. I guess he's kind of like Mulder in the X-Files, where he's going up against the government to try and, like, the truth is out there sort of a thing, only in a more action movie sort of way. This movie, or this TV series, it seems to be loaded with action and monster carnage. Lots of visual effects that actually look really good. And I'm actually really surprised by the level of detail that they've been able to put in this thing. And it also looks like, as far as Godzilla is concerned, they're using him in a similar way to the other American TV series from the 1970s and the late 90s. You know, these had like a group of humans that would kind of manipulate Godzilla in some sort of way, like call out to him like, okay, we need Godzilla here, here, or here to like fight a giant monster. Now in both of those series, it looks like they had a much more personal relationship with Godzilla, whereas this, he seems to be more of an uncontrollable force, like kind of like a Jurassic World where Claire throws the flare that she's luring the T-Rex out of Paddock 9 to like fight the Indominus. It seems more along those lines. And the reveal of Godzilla, actually, where he comes out of the dirt and the desert, it reminded me a lot of how he showed up in 1964 and Mothra versus Godzilla. I don't know if that's what they were going with, but all in all, this looks pretty cool. The tone is what I like the most. The visual effects look great. I love when they get like big name actors. Kurt Russell in general is great. I've loved almost every movie I think I've ever seen Kurt Russell in, and the fact that he's going to be kind of like up against Godzilla and they're treating everything in a cryptozoological sense. I don't know what it is, guys, but it seems like to me this is the first time the Monsterverse actually seems to be nailing what it set out to do. If you're gonna do a big American version of these classic monsters, King Kong from the 30s, Godzilla from the 50s, create your own stuff while peppering in other Toho related things, you know, you should take inspiration from those American ideas that we had from Hanna-Barbera and even the late 90s from the Tristar property. But they're also treating it in a very Hollow Earth, Jules Verne, old school Ray Harryhausen kind of a way. And I'm very much so interested in seeing what they do with this show going forward. I can't believe I'm saying this because, look, guys, when it comes to Godzilla stuff, I'm a big fan, but I'm also aware most of them aren't very good. I tend to give Toho more credit though, like, because they created the monster and because they know what to do with the property, you know what I mean? But this seems like it's the first time American studios are actually buckling down on, okay, what would make Godzilla really cool? Cryptozoology like Loch Ness Monster, Mokele Mimbe, or Bigfoot, you know, going on that sort of thing only on an X-Files scale where they're giant titans. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Now, these are all just my own thoughts and opinions on the trailer. It's looking cool, man. I cannot lie. I would love to see more of the secret monsters get revealed. I'm probably going to be doing a lot more videos in the future on just Godzilla stuff in general and how it relates to other monster movies and what these monsters actually are. I'm not gonna lie though, I've got so many videos in the backlog, dude. Gargantua, he's coming, man. He's on the way. But I've also got Halloween, Halloween 2, John Carpenter's The Thing, Predator, Predator 2, Jaws, Alien movies. Like, I'm trying. This is a lot of work to keep up with. But whatever your own thoughts on Monarch, Legacy of Monsters happen to be, I'm stoked. I can't wait to see what this actually entails. It's going to be coming out episode by episode, I believe, so you're not just going to get a chance to binge everything. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you want out of the show? What are you most excited for? And do you think this is a good direction for the Monsterverse? Personally, this, I want to be careful with what I say. I don't like the more silly stuff, so this actually looks like it's the first Monsterverse thing that's going to be of the same quality that I enjoyed since 2014. But those are all just my own thoughts and opinions. Now, whatever yours happen to be, I'd love to hear all about them, guys, in the comments down below.